Buongiorno a tutti, qui il vostro Anthony che vi parla e oggi continueremo la live di idea di Premonition. Dunque io adesso ho ripreso da questo punto. Voi vi ricordate nell'ultima live sono morto perché ho fatto la cavolata di sparare con lanciarazzi ai nemici invisibili. Quindi adesso io riprendo da qua, da quando scendiamo in quel tunnel, che ne becchiamo almeno 3. E staremo attenti, stavolta non userò lanciarazzi, userò la Magnum. Quindi ho dovuto rifare tutto il pezzo dall'inizio del capitolo, ci ho messo quasi 20 minuti, però quando si fa selezione a capitolo non si può salvare, non si può fare niente, vedete? Quindi noi avevamo proprio interrotto la live in questo cunicolo. Eravamo sempre arrivati qua e siamo morti. Quindi adesso noi riprendiamo da qua, stavolta starò più attento. Allora, vediamo se c'è... Sì, prima spacchiamo. Cos'è che c'è? No, questi non mi interessano. Ma sì, teniamo la luce accesa, se no non vediamo niente. Qui ci sono altre 2 casse. Qui cosa c'è? Stabilizzatore, ok. Lo mettiamo nella cassetta degli attrezzi perché nell'inventario siamo già strapieni. Ok, adesso però è arrivato il momento di fare i conti. Eccolo qua. Questi sono veramente, non si possono neanche evitare. E uno l'abbiamo sistemato. Non ci ha dato un cazzo, no. Questi sono maledetti perché non possiamo neanche evitarli, cioè dobbiamo per forza ucciderli. Eccolo qua un altro. Ok, mi freghi una volta ma non mi freghi più ormai. Il problema è che lo spazio per combattere è stretto, cioè con un altro, e questo qua è il bastardo che... Con questo bastardo qua l'altra volta siamo morti. Allora, ok. c'è qua? Prendiamoli cracker, perfetto. La mappa, vediamo un po' adesso dove siamo arrivati. Ok, siamo arrivati alla parte finale di questo passaggio sotterraneo. Vai, mettiamo nella cassetta degli attrezzi anche la cassetta di pronto soccorso grande. Scusate il doppio gioco di parole. Allora, ricarichiamo. Boh, adesso dovremmo essere arrivati a destinazione. Dove siamo? In quelle parti della casa, diciamo della galleria d'arte. Allora siamo arrivati qui. Noi prima eravamo passati di qua, sì, però qui c'era un passaggio che è bloccato, quindi abbiamo fatto il giro tondo. Oggetti non ce ne sono, no. Facciamoci la barba, va, così almeno ci dà qualche soldo extra. Ah, c'è un lucchetto anche. Si vedete? Noi eravamo arrivati qua ma era bloccato il passaggio. E adesso siamo qua. Ma anche in zona. Ah, ok, ritorneremo alla hall. Noi eravamo arrivati da qua. Abbiamo fatto un giro dell'occa, non si sa per quale motivo, vabbè. A parte che siamo anche nella dimensione alternativa, Ah, che pirla, non ho visto il lucchetto io, ragazzi. Ok. Ah, siamo ritornati nella realtà normale.
Nick.
Ah, ecco Nick. L'avevamo seguito nella precedente live, Oh no. No, anche Diane. Dopo ne becchi. Anche Diane. Ah, lo sceriffo e Emily erano fuori.
Call for assistance with the body.
Wait! She's still alive.
È ancora viva.
Don't move. Don't move her hands and stay still.
George, it's no good. It won't budge.
Emily, stand back.
There's not enough time.
George, catch us!
Salto alla hollywoodiana. Ah, siamo riusciti a salvare Diane forse.
Thomas, call an ambulance.
What?
Dai, chiama l'ambulanza, deficiente.
Agent York, George, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm too old to be an acrobat, though.
Diane looks okay too. She should be able to tell us who did this to her.
God, I hope so. But you, George, quite a catch. I'm impressed. Hmm?
George?
Ma si è alzata questa, come cacchio fa?
Diane?
What a beautiful face. The witchy one who feel art in many directions. Combination in sharp voices. Now the one who's nothing. Inspiring a fully deep eroticism in all who clear. Every woman will find herself about being penetrated by the
Aia, semirossi, i semirossi.
This piece evokes unimaginable value. And yet, this is far more than a whole piece of art. It is a creation masterpiece by American dinosaurs. Come closer. Begging
Diane!
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames.
Back off! Don't touch me!
Diane, no! Move!
Emily, hurry!
Che botta. Ecco, te pareva morta anche lei. Lo sceriffo, nel tentativo di fermare Nick, ha staccato un altro cavo che sorreggeva questa opera, diciamo, questa scultura.
I requested... Thomas will need a body bag, too. Nick, quiet.
Can you hear that?
Hmm?
Ah, il cane Willy. Allora ci deve essere in giro anche il panzone.
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow, Zach?
Eh sì, seguiamolo, no? Ok. Sentiamo Emily. Dov'è qui? Ecco il pirla di Nick, ecco qua. Vabbè, allora seguiamo il cane. Anche perché c'è una scia di sangue. Però è strano, le tracce vanno di là. Vabbè. Noi seguiamo il cane, va? Evidentemente seguire la scia di sangue non serve, magari si troverebbe una porta chiusa. Se seguiamo il cane magari. Eh sì, forse perché ci sono le barriere. Dai, andiamo? Sono qua, su. Dai bel cagnolino, dai. Ti seguo. Ok. Ecco la scia di sangue. Ma se andavamo di qua non facevamo prima, no, Mi hai fatto fare il giro lungo. Dai. Sì, ok. Ok, ci porta automaticamente qua. Se seguivamo le tracce di sangue avremmo fatto un giro di qua da qualche parte. Vabbè. La porta è aperta, vedete, c'è la luce verde. Ok, andiamo di qua. Dai, cagnolino. Ok, andiamo di qua, va bene. E qua dove diavolo siamo? In che zona della mappa siamo? Ah, ok. Qui. Ok, andiamo qua. Ah, qui c'è il bagno. Dai, un'altra rasatura. Quindi l'aggressione deve essere avvenuta in bagno. Ok. Però abbiamo visto che qui c'è una cosa strana. Allora, il cane qui non mi dice niente. Perché? Perché c'è qua un mobile, vedete, se lo spingiamo... Ok. C'è questa botola, ma però c'è anche una di quelle piante...
Are you out there?
Kason, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kason, stand away from the door.
Che ci fa il panzone qua sotto? Il venditore di piante.
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane, to have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out.
Ok, questo è sposato, deve divorziare dalla moglie ed era l'amante di Diane.
Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window. Then you showed up instead of Diane.
Beh, in effetti lui era chiuso dentro la botola.
Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
Ok, siamo già a 3 vittime.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the death of Diane really badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art. But he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together. But while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kason looks like a prime suspect. but that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room, which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now. One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed. I guess this case is really getting to him. He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him? I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
Ok ragazzi, allora Nick è stato trattenuto in carcere, diciamo. Kayser è stato rilasciato in venditore di piante, perché comunque l'abbiamo potuto vedere che lui era chiuso dall'esterno, cioè lui era dentro questa botola, non c'erano vie d'uscite, poi grosso com'era uscire dalla finestra sembrava strano, e poi era chiuso esternamente da un lucchetto, quindi non ci sono prove contro di lui. Allora adesso andiamo avanti, purtroppo anche Diane è morta, sono già 3 le vittime in questo caso. No, non salviamo, tanto questo l'ho finito e rifinito sto gioco, l'ho anche platinato, platino abbastanza facile, bisogna avere solo un po' più di pazienza. Ok, adesso andiamo siamo sempre nell'episodio 2 parte 2, andiamo al capitolo 13 che si chiama Passato. E andiamo.
Previously during the investigation.
I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen.
Thomas, did you see Nick here?
No. When I got here, he was already like this.
What are you doing? Get out of the way! I'll do it!
George, stay back. She's trying to speak.
No! It couldn't be! Oh, please, no!
You got us good this time, Zach.
Ok.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel. First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea. Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Ah sì, dai, andiamo a bere qualcosa, vediamo cosa ha da dirci, magari ci deve dire qualcosa, così otteniamo la sua fiducia anche nelle indagini.
George, that scar on your cheek, where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot, and fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud. She found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurt, Mama. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Che bella madre che hai avuto.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees. I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both. You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber, and I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems and not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better.
Bene, abbiamo ottenuto la fiducia anche di George. Vediamo se c'è ancora parliamo.
Since we're here, why don't you talk to a few other people? I'll just finish off my drink. Let me know before you leave, okay?
Ok, allora ragazzi, questo è un locale, ci troviamo in questa parte della città. Ah no, vabbè, comunque è un locale dove c'è Carol McLean, che è la sorella dell'agente di polizia, quello con gli occhiali, quello che sembra mezzo stupido, ecco. Volendo adesso possiamo anche andare a vedere cosa c'è di qua. Allora, qui c'è la stanza dove forse i bagni. Diamo controllata a sto locale. Eccola qua, qui c'è Carol, vedete? Io non so perché mi ha cambiato il vestito. Qui cos'è che c'è? Ah, ok. Apriamo, vediamo che cosa c'è. Non c'è niente. Allora, ci cambiamo il nostro bel vestito. Io preferisco questo qua. perché così ci aumenta anche, perché cosa ci ha dato? Ah, inizia a sembrare sporco questo addirittura. Allora, vediamo un po', Ah, non si può cambiare. Ah, vuol dire che non si può, va bene. Usiamo questo allora. Alla moda, sì. Poi questo invece. No, ho sbagliato. Ok, così almeno 24 ore per pulirlo quello. Questo 2 ore. Non lo possiamo usare, vabbè. Ci cambiamo il vestito. Extra per vestiti trendy. La mappa vediamo un po', non so se si può vedere altre stanze, no, niente. Adesso andiamo a parlare con la sorella del poliziotto. Adesso non mi viene in mente il nome, ragazzi. Eccola qua, Carol.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead. Diane, too. We've got Nick in custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
I'm busy, gotta go.
Ha da fare, adesso vediamo, magari si metterà a cantare. Sì, dai, facciamogli un applauso, ha cantato bene. Ok, adesso abbiamo ripreso il controllo ancora di York, vediamo un po'. Parliamo ancora con Carol. Va bene, ok. Allora, in teoria non avevo più niente da fare, quindi parliamo ancora con George, vediamo un po'. Ah, è arrivato qualcuno.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Chi è?
Zack. Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Oh là là, la vice
Let's forget
sceriffo.
work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
Ma come vi sta bene, Emily? Ragazzi, sta vice sceriffo qua.
I think
Mamma
George
mia.
likes you.
Che
But he's
bella che
avoiding
è.
you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past. Okay, he did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
Ah, bello.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Insomma, abbiamo capito, George aveva già provato quando Emily era appena arrivata qua a fare la poliziotta, diciamo, o poco prima. Naturalmente lei gli ha detto di no, era una liceale e George aveva già una certa età. Vabbè. Comunque sono rimasti in buoni rapporti, colleghi di lavoro. Adesso vediamo un po'. Ah, ecco, il Galaxy of
I had a
Terror.
good time tonight. Good night,
See you tomorrow.
York.
Mm.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
Ok, allora ragazzi, adesso dobbiamo andare in teoria. Che palle sto rumore è dovuto al Galaxy. Allora, noi ci troviamo adesso. Sono le 22:34, dunque non abbiamo limiti limiti di tempo. Vediamo qua chi c'è. Thomas con Nick. Olivia va bene. Allora vediamo se la nostra vice sceriffo è tornata a casa. Sì, facciamo così, va. Proviamo ad andare prima a vedere se ci fa entrare in casa, altrimenti possiamo tornare in albergo a fare il rapporto. Allora, pigliamo l'auto della polizia. Però, come ho detto, non abbiamo limiti, possiamo andare in qualsiasi orario. Quanta benzina c'è in questa macchina? Siamo al 100%. Allora, adesso io devo ricordarmi sta benedetta strada, perché io purtroppo ancora non riesco ad orientarmi in questo cazzo di paese. Ok, andiamo prima a casa di Emily, vediamo se possiamo entrare. Io comunque sarei andato a farmi la dormita con lei a casa sua. Vabbè, sta macchina della polizia fa cagare perché non ha sterzo. La freccia gialla che vedete sulla mappa è una missione secondaria che possiamo anche fregarcene.
Zach, picking up from where we left off, so Zach, this case turned into a multiple homicide. What kind of motives turn a criminal into a serial killer? Is it hedonistic? Ritualistic? Copycat crime? Sex-related? Cannibalistic? For the Bureau statistics. These interesting ideas don't always really explain the real motive. They're just words, phrases that the media uses to scare citizens. The spotlight falls on a mere 1% of all cases. Only the weirdos. You understand all this, right, Zach? No matter how bizarre a crime may appear to be, at the root, there's always rage, personal interest. Right, Zach? Most people simply don't kill for pleasure. But that kind of common sense never applies to our investigations. Maybe we're lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. We end up working on those cases in that 1%.
Mi sa che
The first case we handled, just after becoming a special agent.
siamo arrivati, dovrebbe essere questa la via.
I don't feel like it right now.
Ma vaffanbagno, ho sbagliato tasto, continuo a sbagliare tasto. Allora, vediamo un po'. Sì, eccola qua, la casa di Emily. Emily in casa, vediamo un po' se possiamo entrare.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? Well, I'll join you if you like, but I do need to get that report written.
Ok.
Once you're finished, let's head back to the hotel.
Emily a casa. Naturalmente non possiamo entrare, tutto chiuso. Vabbè. Andiamo a fare il rapporto in albergo. Siamo messi a prendere anche la galleria.
How many years ago was it now? That multiple homicide of young girls in that college town in Illinois. All the victims were cut open from the throat to the crotch, ripped right open. During the autopsy, a second stomach was found inside the first victim's body. Of course, she didn't naturally grow a second stomach. One of the stomachs belonged to someone else. As more victims piled up, there was one with 2 hearts, one with 2 livers, 4 lungs. Different organs each time. Of course, those extra organs will do girls much good, right, Zach? And they say too much is never enough. In New York, we arrested a professor in that school. They found the body of his daughter, dead and missing organs at his house. Remember what he said when we took him in? I was ordered to restore those deformed bodies back to normal. And remember who he said ordered him? An alien. Well, of course, we couldn't arrest an alien, so we arrested the professor instead. Serial killers can't be caught by logic and common sense. I learned this the hard way. My first case taught me that. Since then, these cases just keep getting more and more complicated. It's a tough job. I thought getting experience while I was young would make the job easy.
Ok, siamo arrivati all'albergo. Iniziamo il nostro bel rapporto da consegnare all'FBI.
Zach, let's go over our problem.
Ok. Vediamo di rispondere giusto,
And the sketchbook we found at Becky's house. Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes. Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Allora, era passato poco tempo dal delitto.
That's right.
Sì.
Diane was still alive. This suggested very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. There was someone near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick was knocked out on the entrance. And one other. Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
Il panzone, Kaiser.
That's right. Casey. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Casey's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Casey up in the basement. Now, what did Casey hear when he was locked up?
I passi di un uomo, rumore di stivali.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest. Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
Non lo so.
Me too.
Ecco.
Usher sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach.
Ok.
This confirms her as a victim of the raincoat killer. Remaining leads. There's the locket, which is in Carol's possession. The man with the tattooed back and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. But I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow. Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Chi è che mo che bussa? Oh, chi è venuta?
What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly. Baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Sempre a fumare.
Who's Zach?
Chi è Zach? Il suo alter ego.
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child.
Ah, York da piccolo. Aia. Che è successo?
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends. I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things. This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
Zach, do you think Emily got home safely? Anyway, I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember? Our conversation with Emily. She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you. If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed. Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Peccato che Emily non è rimasta a dormire con York in albergo. Mi aspettavo qualcosa di più, vabbè.
Thomas! Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. 1 second. Here, Thomas. I know you're there. Come on, please. Thomas. 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 Thomas.
Ok, abbiamo visto Nick in carcere, però non c'è traccia di Thomas. Magari si sarà allontanato un attimo, boh. Vediamo. Ma Becky, Diane, Anne insieme all'assassino. Medaglione. Cioè, abbiamo visto una foto che c'era il killer con le 3 ragazze uccise e adesso questa Carol era con un'altra donna. Boh, vabbè. Abbiamo visto anche un bel, come posso dire, un momento romantico con tra York e la nostra bella vice sceriffo Emily. Allora, noi dovremmo aver finito completamente il capitolo 2. No, non salviamo, annulla l'operazione salvataggio. Ok, abbiamo finito anche sì completamente l'episodio 2, scusate. Ora inizieremo l'episodio 3, capitolo 14. Vediamo quanti sono 3 capitoli. Il tè, seme rosso e ricordi nascosti. Naturalmente al prossimo video cominceremo l'episodio 3, capitolo 14. Bene amici, io interrompo qua la live, grazie per avermi seguito, mi raccomando commentate, mettete mi piace, iscrivetevi al canale. Dal vostro Anthony un saluto a tutti e alla prossima. Ciao ragazzi!